Dun and Bradstreet numbers. All of them have them. All the corporate entities. That's another reason why, like, even when you're doing any business by force or anything with any of these persons or agencies, persons, agents who are claiming to have authority as government, why don't you ask them what their business Dun and Bradstreet numbers, and you'll find out they're all corporations registered in London and in England. And the idea that people have in an American country, America's a continent. Get over it. America's not a country. And the United States is a private corporation for human trafficking and conquest purposes. Has no what you would call de jure operations. None. Nada. That's why the world's in shape that it's in. People have given them strength. People have given them jurisdiction. People have supported them. And what have they done? They've been murdering your children, eating them, breaking up your relationships, and stealing your estates. Name some good that they've really done. Don't hold your breath while doing it, though. And don't think these things have not been known. People who have known these things have been silenced, cut off, murdered, suppressed, imprisoned, and everything else negative. You want to read a few more of the Black Codes?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to read share with you a few more of the Christian Black Codes. Christian Black Code 1724. And you'll recognize some of these policies that are enforced in different municipalities under different corporate states across our land. Article 13. We forbid slaves belonging to different masters to gather in crowds either by day or by night under the pretext of wedding or any other cause, either at the dwelling or on the grounds of one of their masters or elsewhere, and much less on the highways or in secluded places under the penalty of corporal punishment, which shall not be less than the whip. In case of frequent offenses of the kind, the offenders shall be branded with the mark of the fleur de lis, and should there be aggravating circumstances, capital punishment may be applied at the discretion of the judges. And we command all of our subjects, be they officials or not, to seize all such offenders or arrest or conduct them to prison, although there should be not judgment against them. Now you understand what the members of the gangs of New York have been doing to the people on the street, and you all been calling them law officers, and they're really Roman soldiers. Christian Black Code, y'all. It ain't hidden. It's just that we haven't been paying attention. We've been sitting around talking about, and they're racist, and they got make racist sandwiches, and they shouldn't be passing out racist sandwiches in the black, green, and purple communities of the blackness of the purple people. Imbecilic statements where people really don't comprehend reality. Wake up, grow up, and start dealing with reality, because that's what's been doing stuff to you. The people who've been claiming de facto to be your government and the municipal officers of the private corporation enforcing their Christian Black codes, and then getting you to run around talk about racism. Total diversion. Total diversion. Stop playing victim. Take responsibility. Is there something else, Dr. Maria? I'll read another code while you're looking at something else. Article 14, Christian Black Code 1724. Masters who shall, because all you need to do is take the word master and put it into city, borough, city of Philadelphia, city of Wilmington, city of Newark, etc. They take the place under manumission rules, the corporate responsibility of persons and property, and they designate the people under person of the corpse of the dead for the benefit of the municipalities under the corporate states, under the corporate union corporation, United States, under the secret treaty of Verona, delivered to the Circle Church and the Chancery members to be regulated, delivered to the fake queen, and delivered to the bishopric or the clergy of the popes of Rome. That's what's been running this thing. And everything they've been doing to you, hey, the Chinese did, and then the Russians took your sandwiches. No, it's Rome and the bishopric. So, Article 14, masters who shall be convicted of having permitted or tolerated such gatherings as foresaid are composed of other slaves than their own shall be sentenced individually to indemnity and their neighbors for the damages occasioned by such gatherings, and to pay for the first time a fine of 30 lire and double that sum on the repetitions of the offense. Article 15, we forbid Negroes to sell any commodities. Now you understand why you have licenses to even do business or trade, stealing your labor and your property. We forbid Negroes to sell any commodities, provisions, or to produce or produce of any kind without the written permission of their masters and without wearing their known marks or badges. And any persons purchasing anything from Negroes in violation of this article shall be sentenced to pay a fine of 1,500 lire. Now you understand where the licenses and permits for you to even trade among each other, even to braid your own hair, where it comes from, the black codes. So don't you be thinking that these persons and people operating in these municipalities are unaware of the origin of those regulations upon the people, imposed upon people, that they've been using to rob the people of their rights and their liberties and their property and of their labor. Christian Black Codes, Constantine Order, Niceno-Constantinopolitan Creed operations pretending to be Christians, conquering the Western Hemisphere, sometimes called European colonialism or hybrid European hegemony, falsely also called white supremacy. Get real. Is there anything else? If you want me, I'll read some more. All right, Articles 16, 17, 18, and 19 provides a length for the clothing of slaves and for their subsistence. Article 20, slaves who shall not be properly fed, clad, or provided for by their masters may give information thereof to the Attorney General of the Superior Council or to all the officers of an inferior jurisdiction, and may put the written exposition of their wrongs into their hands, upon which information, and even ex officio, shall the information come from another quarter. The Attorney General shall prosecute said masters without charging any cost to the complainant. It is our will that this regulation be observed, and all accusations or crimes or barbarous and inhumane treatment brought by slaves against their masters. That's where you get the Department of so-called Child Welfare and Human Services. That's where that comes from. In case you didn't know, and those politicians pretend they don't know what they've really been using. See, what they do, they steal all your substance and then put you under a false jurisdiction to give you pittance of some of your own estate back, and then put you in debt for it, and then regulate your family under the guise of helping you. Article 21, slaves who are disabled from working either by old age, disease, or otherwise, be the diseases incurable or not, shall be fed and provided for by their masters, and in case they should have been abandoned by said master, said slave shall be adjudged to the nearest hospital, to which said master shall be obliged to pay 8 cents a day for the food and maintenance of each one of these slaves, and for the payment of this sum, said hospital shall have a lien on the plantation of the masters. Now you understand how they've been stealing your labor, and then after they've used up your body and your labor and your age, then they have what they call nursing homes for you to send those who have been made sickly by all of the crap they've been feeding you. State property. Don't think that these politicians who've been making all these regulations of these municipalities and these so-called council people aren't aware of the Christian Black codes, because they use them to legislate from. And they don't vary from it either. They just change the words, change the structure. But the whole platform is about human trafficking and human regulation and taxation of your labor under the guise of being your government. They're not your government, they're your enemy. But since you all haven't accepted that, they're showing you every angle that they're not your friend. So we don't have to convince you at all, because they're kicking your asses left and right. You got any cheeks left? Want me to read another one?
Yes.
Article 22. We declare that slaves have no right to any kind of property, but that all that they acquire, either by their own industry or by the ability of others, or by any other means or title, whatever shall be the full property of their masters, and the children of said slaves, their fathers, their mothers, their kindred, and other relation, either free or slave, shall have no pretensions or claim thereto, either through testamentary or positions or donations inter vivos, which dispositions and donations we declare null and void, and also whatever promise they may have entered into by persons incapable of disposing of anything and or participating to any contract. Now you understand why they tax you on everything, on your labor, on your wages, and sign you as a corporate person. And every time they even write from the municipality, they will have the nomen in all capital letters, because the estate of all things that you thought you possessed, they have claimed under unum sanctum and the doctrine of discovery. And you have no right of property or person or of labor or of any inheritance. There's your municipal codes. So you can pretend that you never read this stuff, and you can pretend that those politicians that you keep voting for didn't know this. All of their rules come from the Christian Black codes of the Constantine order.
I never heard of that before.
Yeah, but you live it every day. And you see them enforcing it on the street by beating people up, ritually murdering people on the street. And now you know why nothing happens that appears to be even remotely justice. So are you going to keep on supporting these people? You going to keep on trying to be a part of them? Keep it up. They're going to show you the demons who they really are. Many of you are not convinced yet. You need a little bit more pain. Some need a lot more pain. Article 24, slaves shall be incapable of all public functions and of being constituted agents for any other person than their own masters, with powers to manage or to conduct any kind of trade, nor can they serve as arbiters or experts, nor shall they be called to give their testimony either in civil or criminal cases, except when it shall be a matter of necessity and only in default of white people. But in no case shall they be permitted to serve as witness either for or against their masters. Now you see why it's so difficult for you to sue corporate state agents when they do stuff to you, your family, steal your children, and do all kind of stuff. Christian black codes. And all these administrators are using them for guidance to their legislation. All of your municipal, city, and borough operations are based in the Christian black codes. So you've been sitting around talking about racism and prejudice, and it's the Christian black codes of the Constantine order, of the Bishopric of Rome. And you keep talking about voting for them.
I got a right to vote. I'm marching for my right to vote.
Duh. I know that a lot of the adults are so compromised and corrupted and hypocritical that they will reject this altogether. However, mothers are bringing youth in, and the youth will come into this consciousness with their eyes wide open and will help clean this mess up. For the most part, this is for you all. I'm not trying to argue with the old heads who've been selling themselves out and selling their babies and pretending to be Jesus freaks or Allah lovers. You know, they can do what they want to do. The Aquarian age is for the newborn and the unborn. And this is just a small message to help us along.
Here's a question while you're running from paper plane. What should we study in order to remove ourselves from Rome?
First, knowing that Rome is Rome and Rome is not your country. That's the first thing. It's back to, why have our people been supporting institutions and agencies with their labor, their taxes, their services, their so-called vote, their dedication, is because they thought these institutions presented for them or represented them. Once you know, and you know now, that they never did, they're all parasitic, that's enough for you to start rejecting them. That's your answer. And using your own intelligence and look within, because it's all within you. You just have not believed in yourselves. You've been believing in everybody outside, including the idol god worships they've been selling you at a severely high and non-productive cost. Take responsibility. That's how. And information-wise, you've been given this information for quite some time. Whether or not you've been paying attention, that's another issue. Is there anything else you want me to read another one?
Please continue.
Hmm?
Please continue.
Let's see, excuse me. Slaves may be prosecuted criminally without their masters being made parties to the trial. These are those what you call trials in absentia type things they've been doing to our people. Except they should be indicted as accomplices, and said slaves shall be tried at first by the judges of ordinary jurisdiction, and if there be any, and on appeal by the superior council, with the same rules, formalities, and proceedings observed for free persons, save the exceptions mentioned hereafter. And keep in mind, this is where our people keep recognizing when they keep on seeing this so-called double standard of law that they keep arguing about. Well, there it is. There it is. It's not an attitude. It's written. You know, and this is back to, you know, like last year and a few years ago, every once in a while we'll do a reminder class or rehash jurisdictions and understanding jurisdictions and the important for our people to understand jurisdictions, what creates them, what their categories are, the challenging of jurisdiction, which would be called quo warrantos or averment of jurisdiction, why they exist, mandamuses, also being in proper person so that you can even have the capacity to even make an argument. Under the Black Codes, you don't even have the capacity to even make an argument because it's a dead status, which Barack Obama told us, our people, it was. So why people even complain about him, at least he told them that, didn't he? He told people that blacks are dead status. They can't say that he didn't say that because he did.
Someone asked, I can't pronounce the name, appellation, do Moors have a relocation plan?
Why?
It's well, where we got to go.
It's your house. Why? How about do the hybrids have a relocation plan? Do you think they're going to